constant interaction with the recruiters, and we understood that there are certain areas where our students should transform, and they actually look into those areas. I'll come down to few of the important areas where transformation happens. So from my understanding of this batch, there are final year students and there are students who recently passed. Two aspects: transformation that can happen for final year students, and quick transformation that has to happen for the students who have recently passed out. So these are the two areas that I will be anchoring on. Okay. Now, what are the key points for transformation is what I'm going to discuss uh, for you. First one, digital readiness have been identified transformation. What do you mean by digitally ready is empowering yourself to be in the forefront run or the forerunner, or you should be an early adopter technology platforms. One simple example
Sir, I think your
applications.
audio is in between, it is getting disconnected, sir. Clipping, your audio is clipping. So I think you can just switch
How
off
is
your
it now?
video.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine now. Yeah, you can continue, Jackson, sir.
Subin, yeah. So because of heavy rain. So what I was trying to say is digital readiness becomes a very, very important thing, right? Where you are in the front line of the technology. You know, you should know to use most of the platforms. You should know how to use the basics of statistical tools, etc., etc., etc. I'll tell you how to identify this also in some time. The second one is very high degree of networking and collaboration skills. You should have that capability to discuss, to run with the team, to discuss with the team, innovative ideas. Unlike the past, there is quite a lot of collaboration that is required. And companies are getting open for collaboration. Now even competitors are collaborating with each other. They work together in order to become successful, so that the industry is successful. That is how the whole economy is functioning. The third point is we must develop critical thinking. We must have very logical and rational thought process of taking up things, right? Or rationality and logic of how you look into projects. So like this, companies are looking into very transformative skills. The reason is when you go back in organization, you could straight away get into become their resource, and in their terms you become billable resources. That is, your skill sets are embarked onto the organization, and organizations can get deliverables from your end. So this is what they mean. Now, for this transformation, I will divide the whole thing in career management cell. The activity is divided into three parts. The first part is to understand what you love to do. Okay, this is very important. What you love to do. For example, for some, the area that you love to do might be in the area of being a financial analyst. For another person, the area that you love to do is digital marketing. For some other person, it might be same. For some other, it might be human resource management, talent acquisition, and so on. This is the first exploration that you should do and really understand what you love to do. Let me take an example. As a person, I love being a digital marketer. Now, being a digital marketer, why I love to do is because it has a lot of aura to it. It has a lifestyle to it. Let me come out with an example. You know, photo shoot is an integral part of digital marketing, and I love photography. That means my area, my hobby, my passion is being explored out of a profession called as digital, being a digital marketer. There is graphics involved in it. There is a lot of creativity dimensions involved in it. And as a person, I love that. That is why I love digital marketing. This is where you first need to anchor what is the career that you need to pursue. What is that you love to do? Because please understand this, when you are doing something you love to do, the best thing is you are not working, you are involved. That term itself is called as creative involvement. You are creatively involved in a career. That means your desire, your interest, etc., is going to be active throughout your career journey, and it becomes part of your life. So that is why stage one is exploration, finding out what is it that you need to do, and then setting it out. So now you have identified what to do. Second phase is you have to go into various job sites. You have to look at the past job descriptions, and you have to look into the skills that is required by these people who are looking to hire digital marketing professionals. I'm giving one example. That means you have to identify what is the career choice you need to take. Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's okay
Hello,
now. Yeah, it's okay
Yes, sir.
now because in
Sony
between there
sir.
was a clipping was happening. No, it's okay, fine.
It's audible, sir.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So the next is you
Yeah,
have to really
carry on, sir.
understand what is the skill set that is required. Now, what you can do for that is go back to the various job descriptions and the various specifications that is being given out by the company. Yeah. And then you try to understand what is the skill set that is required. Right. That skill set, I am dividing into three different skill sets. One is the domain knowledge, very important. Okay, domain knowledge. You have to understand what exactly is there in that area of interest. For example, when you take digital marketing, let me take that example of digital marketing. Domain knowledge includes in the areas of content creation, content marketing. Let me go into a little bit technical so that you understand. SEO, search engine optimization, SEM, ORM, online reputation management. So this is an area where you're exploring more into the depth. Now, another skill set for transformation is you have to have research quotient. That is, you have heard a word called SEO. If you have the right set of research quotient, you will start reading about SEO. You will start knowing more about SEO. That is where I said you have to explore the depth of the subject or the area that you're interested. This is very important. Okay, and people who intend to hire you will definitely look into this. They will look whether you have a certain set of deep knowledge in that domain. Okay, the second one is they will look into skill sets that you have. Now, what are the skill set? Being a digital marketer, you need to know how to operate different softwares, different platforms. You should have an analytical thinking. So that is a skill set. Now, how do you achieve this? I'll come back to it a little later. So, and again, from the job descriptions, you'll understand what is the expected level of communication skills that you require, what is the kind of experience that you require, and then you get an idea that there are 15 skill sets. I'm taking an example. There are 15 skill sets, and if I acquire this 15 skill set, I qualify myself as a person who can go into digital business. This is what is in the second phase. First phase is exploration. Second phase is just like we play PUBG, right? And when we play PUBG, it's like you loot different buildings and houses, and you get all the tools and equipments. I don't know how many of you play PUBG. I play a lot, anyways. So going into the loot and then getting guns and then all what you require in order to win the game. So this transformation is an area where you are going to pick up the skill. Let me give an example. For a digital marketing career, the recruiter will definitely ask for what are the certifications that you have in the area of digital marketing. Now, assume that there is a particular organization who gives, for example, Google gives certificate on Google Ad, 3-month program. Assume that you have certified, you are a certified professional Google Ad by Google, and you have a certificate. Now, for the recruiter, you can say that, see, I am certified and I know how to work on Google Ads. You have picked level 1, okay, 1 certificate. The next is you are engaged in a project in digital marketing. You can show that this is a project in which I am involved. You can check this project and understand how good is the project. Like this, you are acquiring 1, 2, 3, 10, 12 skill set that is required for you to actualize into a digital marketing profession. This is where we call it as transformation. This transformation must happen in you in order to be really successful. Now, in our experience, what we have found is those students who have undergone transformation are undergoing continuous transformation while they work because they have learned how to transform. Very important point. I always used to quote one of my students. His name is Nandan, and Nandan has been highly involved, very strongly involved in setting up and building our career management center. These days, when I talk to Nandan, once upon a time my student, now I call him as my friend. I learn from him. I learn new things from him. Why this has happened is because he is undergoing transformation every now and then. That means whenever the external environment is changing, your transformation has to happen from inside. So I was just briefing on a method of transformation. So that is work-life skills. You must have your own passion. You must have your own hobbies. So that in together and change. Right? Leadership qualities really required for transformation. There is something called as thought leadership, really important. So these are some points for transformation. Now let's look into the current period, COVID situation, COVID crisis. All on a sudden in last 2 months, there is a new skill set that is required for people. What is that skill set? The skill set is you can sit in front of a laptop and can deliver the deliverables. And believe me, this is a real we are teachers, but then now we have to take classes online. Whatever is being taught in one class, we have to teach in 2 online classes. So we have to rework on delivery, we have to rework on methodology, we have to rework on how we intend to pass on our course outcomes. So it's VUCA, it has changed. But then we need to for you to have real quick transformation is acquire the skill on how to work remotely, but at the same time deliver the deliverables as if you work in the office. This is a skill set that all on a sudden came up in the last couple of months. So I was talking to one of the HR recruiter from EY. Her name is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi was saying, sir, we need some resources who can work from home, who have ownership in taking a particular project, and the person is motivated by himself or herself to complete the project and deliver it back to the organization. See, autonomy has become a transformation. I want a person who can talk over Zoom, over the Zoom, and talk to me as if there is a personal communication that is happening. So this is a new skill set that is required. And this is going to be quite long because COVID situation is going to be solved quite soon. And projects are running, companies are working. So that this has to be a continuous process. This is one of the key for quick transformation. Going strong on digital media platforms like LinkedIn, showing out my profile with the desired quality so that you are sorted out for employment. These are some of the quick transformations that we are also trying to implement in students, so that there is quite a lot of improvisation that people undergo. And important point is you should be mindful about your skill set. You should know how good am I on a particular platform. Let me take an example. How good am I in understanding Facebook analytics if I'm a digital marketing? That is the aura which I'm speaking. I am at a beginner level. You should transform by yourself in taking up going into webinar, which is happening, in plenty these days. Going for a certificate program, going into companies, leading experts who have discussions online, and then you start practicing it. And you say, yes, I have moved from basics to intermittent. Now, from intermittent, I am going into advanced. You're sharpening one skill by skill so that it undergoes transformation. Sony sir, I will stop at this point and then continue a bit later. Yeah, I hope I have
Yeah,
discussed.
sir, that quick transformation you have mentioned. So what I would request you is like, no, can we go ahead with a real-time transformation video for them so that no, they quickly connect with how a person, they know that person. So how quickly they transform in his early career to the stage where he is now. Whether that could be a good idea for them, because more lecturing would make them more boring.
Yes, yes. Let's do it. So to the participants, what we are appealing is look into that video into possible depth and try grabbing that emotion of that video, emotional content from that, learning content from that, and then possibly we have few questions for you. So be very analytical, be very critical while you see the video, so that we can have an interaction, and then whatever we were speaking will be reinforced into your mind. So that is our idea. Okay, so sir, let's continue. Sony sir, are you playing video from
No,
your end?
no, no, no. If you could do that, that would be great, because I'm facing some difficulty in playing the video.
I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Okay. Sony sir, is a screen share up?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's presently now.
Startup Stories in association with Overlook.in.
I hope all the
Greatest
participants
empires
can
are sometimes born out of smallest of
view the video.
ideas.
Yes. Yeah. Can you all see the video?
Yes, sir.
Today,
Yes, sir.
we'll talk about the story of the man who has impacted the entire economy and the internet industry of China almost single-handedly. His life is nothing less than the story of Robert, the Bruce, and the Spider that we were taught in our kindergartens. This is the story of the man who is today one of the most valued persons in the world, Jack Ma. Born to a traditional musician storyteller parents on October 15, 1964, Jack Ma was the second child in the family. Jack and his two siblings, an elder brother and a younger sister, had a modest upbringing. During their childhood, communism was at its peak in the country, and the residents had little or no contact with the Western world. However, his zeal to enhance his aptitude and acquire new skills was evident from childhood. From the year 1972, tourism boomed in the city, and the spirited Jack made the most of the opportunity. He worked as a tourist guide in exchange for lessons in English. Apparently, he also befriended one of the tourists and the two continued correspondence further. His pen pal named him Jack as he found Ma's original name a little too difficult to pronounce. But his education was not all smooth sailing. Jack failed in his primary school examinations 2 times before he got it right. Continuing to middle school, he failed graduating exams 3 times before going through. Well, this was not the end of his failures in the education system. After high school, when applying for universities, he flopped the entrance exams thrice. He wanted to join Harvard University, but he got rejected all of 10 times. Eventually, in his third attempt, he joined Hangzhou Normal University, where he did in English. After graduating from college, he even applied to be a police officer, but they didn't even give him the time of the day, rejecting him with 3 simple words saying that you are no good. Frustrated with the lack of solid employment opportunities after graduating in the early 1990s, a few years ago. Later, he started a translation service business. Upon his first visit to he was totally shocked after he looked at various countries and learned that there was none from China on the World Wide Web, which is a country of about 1 billion people. Jack immediately saw the potential business opportunities of the internet and how it could facilitate the way small and medium Chinese enterprises could do business with the rest of the world. Then, he and his friends decided to launch a website about China and Chinese products and their products. Within the same day, they began to receive emails from people around the world requesting them to partner with their company. That experience taught Jack about the incredible power of connectivity, especially how the internet can greatly impact the global trade, essentially for small medium enterprises. However, due to lack of funding, Jack had to shut down this business. He later took up a government job for a short period at the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation in the latter half of 1990s. There, he also built important connections with influential people that would later impact Jack's life and business venture, one of whom was the founding member of Yahoo, Jerry Yang. Later, in 1999, after leaving the government job, Jack took a second bite at the internet-based business ventures by grouping 18 people, including himself and his wife, and sold them a dream to found Alibaba with the goal of facilitating international trade for small and medium ventures based in China. In the early stages of Alibaba, Jack tried to raise funds from the Silicon Valley, which is a tech hub in the United States, but he was met with denials, and his business model was criticized to be unprofitable and unsustainable by many during that time. However, not the one to get bowed down easily. Jack continued his efforts to raise funds, and eventually, Jack was successful in getting Goldman Sachs and SoftBank to invest $5 million and $20 million in Alibaba respectively. Later, as the dot-com boom period came to an end in the year 2000, Alibaba faced serious challenges due to its aggressive expansion into international markets. Jack Ma successfully reorganized company's operations, including closing many international branches and focusing on strengthening Alibaba's position in the Chinese market. Thereafter, Jack expanded the services of Alibaba and re-engaged its international expansion strategy. After Jack and Alibaba reorganized their operations and made their mark by driving eBay out of China after just few years in business, Jack succeeded in getting Yahoo to invest a sizable $1 billion for a 40% stake in Alibaba in 2005. Later in 2014, in what turned out to be the largest IPO in the world till date, Jack and his team successfully raised in excess of $25 billion for Alibaba by listing it in the New York Stock Exchange in the United States. That made Alibaba a 15-year-old e-commerce company that has its origins outside of the US as one of the world's largest companies, as measured by its market capitalization that was approximately $200 billion. Well, even after achieving such a humongous success, Jack feels that there's still a long way to go ahead. Jack and his team are turning Alibaba Holding Group into a massive conglomerate by acquiring many smaller companies from technology related to logistics and beyond. Well, Jack Ma is one of the world's greatest living examples of entrepreneurship today. Once a poor lad who survived by guiding tourists, Jack left no stone unturned to rise above his humble condition and achieve success. Jack Ma is the kind of an exceptional and talented leaders who redefine the path of success. At the moment, Alibaba Group is worth over $200 billion and is fast on its way to dominate the international e-commerce market, while Jack Ma and Alibaba are yet to witness many more laurels in the future. We at Startup Stories wish Jack Ma all the very best and hope he keeps inspiring many more generations to come. Thank you so much everyone for suggesting us to do a video on
I hope everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir,
So,
continue. I
so
hope
please
that now
continue.
everyone has been, yeah, everyone has seen that video.
Yeah, you please
It was a
continue.
7 minutes, 30 seconds video. And whatever Jackson sir was mentioning you regarding the transformation, you could see that how the transformation happened in this person, Jack Ma, and where is he now? He succeeded in, building up a business empire, and we could see that no early childhood how he was, the struggles he underwent, even in business, even in studies. There was altogether rejection from all around. Then he didn't, no, he didn't stop there. He went on. He transformed himself into a successful entrepreneur, businessman, and he is one of the top leading, maybe richest person in the world. So what we would like to do is now we will run quickly 7 questions we want to show you, and there will be 4 options for that question. And in chat box, see, there is no right answer, wrong answer. Whichever options you feel is fit for that question, which is based on his life and what you observed in that video, you could easily put in that chat box. So we would quickly run for that. Jackson sir, let me try from my end whether the PPT can be opened from my end. I think it's visible, right?
Sir, not yet.
It's not visible.
No, 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 no.
Okay. It's not shared, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Oh, sir, it says that it's visible, sir.
Okay, okay. Then I don't know. From my screen, it's not.
So,
Okay, let's start.
so what I do is, sir, because when I've taken this full screen, I may not be able to see the chat window. So you have to look at the chat
I
window and do that. Fine. So I'll
I
just
look at the chat.
quickly run to the first question. The first question is, which is the trait that Jack Ma shows since his childhood? See, the 4 options are good attitude, aptitude to acquire new skills, hard work, communication.
Yeah, what you can do is you can put your options. You can put it in chat, which is the option that you felt is the right option or most appropriate, correct option. That would be the right way. Yeah. Okay. One is good attitude. Okay. Can all the participants post the chat message into the chat, please? Attitude, hard work, hard work. Okay. Hard work. Okay. Okay. Good attitude. Good attitude. Okay, now don't get anchored with one option. So maybe somebody have put, this is called as anchor bias. Somebody put hard work, and everybody thinks hard work is the right answer, and everybody shoots hard work as the answer. Okay, okay, Helen V. Tommy, you have put that as aptitude to acquire new skill. For the benefit of the time, let's put it like this. Yes, aptitude to acquire new skill is the skill set that Jack Ma has shown since his childhood. Now let's look into the story. He was not from a middle class or lower middle class. As he grew up, he wanted to learn English. And in order to learn English, why this was happening in late 1980s, you should remember that time, where in China, penetration of English, which is the global business language, was very weak or very low. That was a time when Jack Ma, because of an opportunity in the tourism sector, took up an opportunity and become a travel guide just for a person who's an international tourist, and continuously networked and collaborated with that particular person to sharpen his English skills or communication skills. Later, he tried for a lot of job opportunities, but didn't get through. And then later become a communication trainer in one of the university. Later, he used that to become a translator. He started a translator business, like a transcript business. Based on it, he went to US, and then he learned the opportunity in internet. So see that aptitude to learn new skills is an important skill set that you should develop in order to transform. You don't know something, and then you try to learn. That is where I said learning itself has to be a continuous process if you are looking for transformation. Now let's look into the current environment. Environment is changing rapidly. Everything is changing rapidly. For us to come online and to present, we had spent many hours to learn how things work. We were more comfortable on Zoom because we have been using Zoom for quite a long, and we in depth know how to operate Zoom. But all on a sudden, it started. It's on Google Meet, so we have to learn how to work on Google Meet, right? That means we are improving our work skill that is required at these times, that you have to go virtual and you have to be very efficient in delivery of, or you have to be very efficient in communication. So this is a skill that you also need to hone, or you also need to explore in aptitude to learn new skills. Now you connect me to the earlier presentation that you want to choose a career. That means you have to acquire n number of skill set, and you should have that appetite or aptitude to learn that new skill. So this is what is one skill set that is required for transformation.
Can we go
Sony
to the
sir,
next
can,
question? Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
The second one is when Jack was young, China was experiencing a boom in tourism sector, and the city in which Jack was living had strong tourist inflow. What mindset triggered Jack to explore that opportunity? Entrepreneur mindset, zeal to learn, collaboration and communication skill, or all of these above? You can just start putting your options on the chat box.
Yeah, you can answer that. Or all of these, okay. I'm reading out the option. Is that we have 37 participants and we just had 7 or 8 message. Okay, okay. Entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, entrepreneurial mindset. All of these. Can rest of the all of these? Okay. Can everyone try to answer? So we need complete participation. Okay. For benefit of time, it's correct. All of these is the right answer. So here they have shown three important skill sets. One is the entrepreneurial mindset. Very important point, entrepreneurial mindset, because entrepreneurial mindset gives you a holistic thinking. Let me take this point. There is some thought which is called as linear thought. Linear thought is where you catch on to one thread and you think only in that direction. But to become a good business leaders, you must have a holistic thought. Something like this. A person with linear thought would buy one equipment in his company and think that if I install this product, then it can produce 10 more units. So my production capacity moves from 100 to 110 and says that, yeah, I purchased a machine which is producing 10 more units. That is a linear thought. Now, holistic thought is where you think that I have purchased a machine, it has improved the work quality of my staff, like work-life quality of the staff. It has incurred 20% addition on my capital investment, but my returns have improved. My revenue has gone up by 30%. Or it is like, it is a very futuristic machine so that, I can bring in quite few of innovation and add value for my product. This is where you have a holistic thinking. Right. This thought process develops when you have an entrepreneurial mindset. And this is actually looked after by companies for this skill set. They typically call it as T-shaped individuality, where you have grip on other knowledge also. Zeal to learn, I have explained in the last question, that is always there is an enthusiasm to learn. And the other point is, what was the other point, Sony sir? I missed the third point.
Collaboration and communication skill.
Yes, collaboration and communication skill. So look at that, there was an opportunity to improve where tourist inflow was strong. Jack Ma immediately become a tourist guide. See how beautiful it is. Grabbing the opportunity with the one single intention of learning the communication skill,
Sir, I think so.
learning
This
how to
collaboration
collaborate.
in this now, because I was just
Yes, sir.
indicating them about the opportunities in this pandemic. See, like those, lot of companies are offering work from home projects. Even the second years or the students who are not at place, they can look for those opportunities because those opportunities can be converted into placement opportunities. See, that could be a area where, see, don't look at your no college because we don't give this. The student has to take initiation from their end. So please try to get from your own things, look around. LinkedIn is a good platform to look around all those things. So this collaboration would take you to the next level. Sir Jackson, sir, please.
Uh, Absolutely, sir. Just for an example, there is a current project that is running around with Microsoft, where Microsoft is issuing projects at an individual role leader, and then you can take up the project. And they have a lot of resources taking up this project, and they will identify the talent which they require. And once you are engaged really well in the projects, that's the opening for you, right? So this is how the world is transforming. Now, to be honest, if you ask me, you have to change your thought process of going into one company. 45 years you're going to work in one company in one domain. That age is over. That is over. Today we call workforces as Protean workforce, Protean, Protean workforce. What is a Protean workforce? Let me take my example. I might be a faculty now, but 2 years down the line or 6 months down the line, I might become a consultant. I might be working as a consultant. Sometime later, I might join an organization, totally different role. Maybe 10 years down the line, might become a faculty again and then teach or engage with students for learning. So it's not going to be one company. You're going to work for multiple company. At the same time, you're going to work for multiple projects because you are working around your skill sets, and some skill sets are really paying for you. You do that job. Some skill set can really take you, way higher in your career, so you're going to acquire it. So this is a mindset Jack Ma had, okay, that made him successful. See where he started as a tourist guide, then a faculty member in the university, then he started doing translation business. Where does he stand now? He has built a e-commerce empire, which is world's largest e-commerce empire. They bought eBay, and please understand, eBay was a pioneer in e-commerce, and Alibaba just acquired them, and today they become a $200 billion company. So I hope you connected to that transformation skill which Jack Ma has depicted. So, sir, I think we can go to
We
the
go to the next question.
next
That is,
question.
when Jack got introduced to internet, he was totally shocked. What personal trait made Jack explore the massive opportunity in the world of internet? Research quotient to know more, perseverance, intuitiveness, confidence.
Yeah, let's see the chat messages. You can respond over chat. Let's see the answers. Okay, all we have 40, all 40 is going to answer for this question. We want participation. Option one, yes, research. Okay, let's see for the rest of the people. Okay, confidence. Yeah, can you all quickly post that chat? Okay, okay, confidence. So so for the benefit of the time, looking at the chat, Sony sir, they are anchoring on two aspects. One is the
Okay.
confidence, and the other one is the research quotient. These are the two most popular responses that we are getting in,
So
and
I'm glad that I think they were very keenly following that video because from the results what they are putting up, I think they were keenly following that video that they understood what the transformation is. That's what I may take the inference as from these answers. What do you think?
absolutely. Absolutely. So the most appropriate option that you are looking to hear from you is research quotient to know more. Okay, incredible, incredible. This is very, very important for transformation. What does it mean, research quotient? You are diving deeper, 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 and deeper into the depth of a particular domain that you are passionate about. And let me tell you, this is one professional quality that we should develop. One simple example. During these pandemic days, we were given out with an task of completing exams, and we didn't have a proper software. So myself and Sony sir was involved in the project. We said let's look into it. We started researching on how to build a system to conduct examination. It was a 1 week exploration. We explored into two platforms. We explored how to do online examination efficiently. Lot of challenges. Students may copy. It has to be advantage for students to write the exams well. We need to structure the question well. After almost a week and a half of extreme, deep research onto platforms, features, technicalities, at the end we were able to conduct online examinations. Students were happy. They were able to write well. We were also able to conduct it well. So we completed two spells of examination. Eventually, what happened is in this COVID pandemic time, we are able to handle sessions. We are able to engage sessions with more participation from the user. Right. It is something that is achieved because of research quotient to know more. Okay. So this is an important trait that you should hold on to you. That thirst, that zeal to know more, and because of abundant opportunity of internet and extremely high connectivity over blog platforms, discussion platforms, I think you can know more and more and more about things. And when you have that knowledge of knowing more, in-depth knowledge, this is one skill that industries are really looking forward. So research quotient, you should have that quality in you to explore more into the depth and understand of how things work. Yes,
So I
I
think
think
we go to the next question. The fourth one is Jack received emails requesting partnership with him from various parts of the world on the same day when he started his first business, China page. What was his insight from this experience? The options are learn the incredible power of connectivity, learn the scope of networking, got more partners, learned how to attract more customers. quickly you can just give your answers on the chat box. Subin sir, what could be your end time? Could you please just let us know? Now 11:36.
Yeah, sir, you can continue up to 12 o'clock, no problem. If it is okay for you.
Okay, so no, okay, that means okay, fine. So because I had 7 questions, so I just want to adjust the time accordingly.
Okay.
It's okay, sir.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, so they say incredible power of connectivity, scope of networking, option B. Okay. Sony sir, yeah.
So incredible power of connectivity, scope of networking, get more partners, attract more customers.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so most of their options are around power of internet connectivity and scope of networking. Sir, yeah,
Fine.
we will hear from you, sir. Yeah.
So they are talking about connectivity and networking. See, again, we were talking about that collaboration earlier question. See, how does power of connectivity help Jack Ma to get more business with her? So this is how we say that the one platform I was just mentioning you about LinkedIn. See, LinkedIn is one platform where now, see, as Jackson sir was indicating, one term, quick transformation, that could help you. We need a quick transformation, but we don't have time because you are into the second year and there are students who are just passed out. So, Jackson sir, could you put on mute? Or I think some other
Yeah, I am on
noise.
mute. I think.
Okay, some other noises are coming. I thought it's from your side. Okay, sir. Because fine. So this LinkedIn is one platform where you get see, and we are connecting with your professional career and your job opportunities and your networking. So for a students or a business people, you need to be there on LinkedIn. I don't know how many of you are not having a LinkedIn profile. If not today itself, please build your LinkedIn profile. So because your CV should be there on your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn profile should be visible to most of the people and connect. See, wisely you can search for the areas. If you are an HR professional, you're looking for marketing. Marketing also you can have options to narrow it down to the area you are specifically interested and look for the people who are connected with, look for the companies who are offering. And there are a lot of job opportunities, job offers are posted in that area. So look for those options where you could get a lot of options and grab those opportunities. Don't wait for no other things to come on you. So you need to start networking yourself within your friends. And it's not like Facebook alone. Facebook are gone days where you use it for entertainment. That is okay. But for your professional networking, be a part of the LinkedIn and start networking yourselves. That could bring you more results and more benefit for you in the future. So, and I think we will go to the fifth question. That is, Jack has faced a lot of rejections. Despite these rejections, Jack was motivated to explore opportunities and become successful. What quality enabled this? See, reality orientation, management skills, ability to mobile resources, opportunities behavior. Please start putting your options. Reality orientation, management skills, ability to mobilize, sorry, opportunistic behavior.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and see the options. Yeah, lastly, opportunistic behavior. D. Yeah. So, sir, that was a tricky question. Like,
Yeah.
when we asked, most of them were, we were also expecting opportunistic behavior would be the highest response. I think the validity is checked now. But I'm going ahead with the answer. So,
Yeah,
if you
please.
look question, it is a reality orientation that is very important. Reality orientation. So Jack has actually faced a lot of rejections. Now let's look into one by one. Rejections he has faced by not clearing examinations, rejection in Harvard 10 times, rejection in a police department that he's not fit.
So we lost you. Jackson sir, are you there? Okay, I'll take it from there. So Jackson sir was explaining how this rejection. So he was just indicating the rejections that has happened in Jack's life. So these are an area where most of us face during our placement interviews. We go for a company realizing that, okay, this is the dream company or the dream job I'm looking at, and I'm confident with the job description, and I have the right qualification. I have done my MBA. I passed with good, results, and I had these backgrounds with me. But in reality, the employer has to hire you. So that is what Jackson sir was indicating regarding the certain transformation, certain qualities, certain things that you need in addition. So there we called an industry ready professional. So reality, maybe you may get a rejection from the company. The first instance, they may not be acquiring you or hiring you. If you are desperate with that situation, see, the video started with quoting one person, Robert Bruce. You may be knowing his story. From childhood onwards, we are hearing the story of that particular person. So how repeatedly he was doing things and finally he got its success. So that is where this his Jackson sir, are you back? That is where
I'm back.
okay.
Yeah.
So you can continue with that. You can continue. I was just indicating with their placement interviews with the rejection.
I understood that, sir. I understood.
Yeah.
Thank you for
please.
fixing it, sir. So reality orientation is where he has undergone through a lot of rejections. But instead of getting depressed or running away, he actually measured, he actually measured what he is. He actually understood the reality of the environment. Okay, let me come out with another story of a professor who was teaching in a university in Afghanistan. And you know how bad is Afghanistan because of various war, internal conflict, etc. This professor ended up doing a business of upcycling the bomb shells because there was a lot of bombing that was happening in Afghanistan because of quite a lot of internal as well as international conflict. He finally ended up as a person who's upscaling bomb shells back to the industry. Look at that reality, The environment is different. The socio-political climate is different, and he ended up doing it, right? So this is where you also need to understand, measure the reality in which you are. You have to map yourself against the environment. Then you will get a clear understanding. Okay, this is where I need to transform. This is an area which can help me to, quickly shift and turn and adapt to the requirement. So there are two words to it. One is called agility and the other one is resilience. What do you mean by agility? Agility is the how quick do you respond to situation? Agility. Second one is resilience, where you never give up and then you are resilient and you keep trying and you get it done. So in order to bring in that resilience and agility, reality orientation is one important skill set that you should have. So we are all giving this transformation point, not just to transform at this point of time to get into an environment, This has to be a continuous transformation process that you can hold on or bang on so that you can achieve your dreams. Yeah, so I think we can go into the next question.
Yeah. Next question is, what skill of Jack Ma made him successful to attract investment of US dollar 1 billion? That is a 40% stake in Alibaba from Yahoo. Again, the networking and collaboration, attitude, motivation, and innovation. This was clearly mentioned in the first meeting. I think it's very easy for them because
absolutely, I think we have 4 responses coming in, and everybody is pitching in networking and collaboration.
I think we don't have to stress more on that networking collaboration because previous things we have already covered that. So I think we will go to the last question of this. That is, what are your key takeaways from Jack Ma's success story? So what are the key takeaways that you understood or that you perceive from this story? First is transform yourself, redefine the path of success, do not give up, or all of these.
Yeah, the most of the opinion is around the C and D. Yeah, so the most appropriate option is all of these. Transformation is the cornerstone of MBA program. You have to be very clear with this, and you have to redefine the past path through which you have traveled through. And absolutely don't give up, because you will face this every now and then. It's not one solution. It's going to be a lifelong testing and retesting. It's going to be a continuous thing where that do not give up is going to be our DNA. So when you map your professional DNA, when somebody tests your DNA, they should say, yes, this person is a very transformational person. He or she doesn't give up easily and keep pursuing till that success is done, and a great change adapter. So this is something which people really look for. So this is our intention, or this is what we intended to communicate.
Sir, I think we will just quickly take few questions if there is anything. Otherwise, we will sum up with this. So I'm ready for Subin sir. Now we would like to hear some questions. We would like to take some questions from the students if they have any questions. If they can put in the chat box, or even they can unmute and ask also, no issues.
Okay, sir. So students, if you're having some questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, you have to be, we are very interactive. We would love to hear from you. Any questions, please throw up. Whatever we could answer, we will definitely answer, or else we will get back to you. You can either put in the chat or you can unmute and ask. Okay. Yes.
So we have already told that our culture has changed a lot, and many firms are providing work from home practice, so that employee who is working from home is not having such contact with the firm and the other employees. My question is, does the personality, which is a part of professionalism, and the work culture can be identified on the digital media, and whether transformation can be done properly or not?
Yeah, good question, Alina. So what you meant is, today everything is going digital. Okay, so today we are not meeting with people. So why we have this difficulty is Sony sir is at a different workplace and I am working from my home. I had heavy rains, no power, internet issues. So I actually came down to my friend's office. So it's all different. This is not the way I used to function earlier. It's quite different. But then the most important priority is the deliverables. How you can be digitally ready to deliver your deliverables. There is a lot of autonomy. The whole thing had to be set up by me. Like the router needs to be switched on. In my office, there is some other person to do it. I have to put my system on. I need to know how to connect between my laptop and internet. And I had lost more than 5 connectivity during this meeting. But then see, Sony sir has pitched in, and then he knows what my problem is. he took ownership in pitching in and then getting that. So even if when I know that my connectivity is lost, I know there is a partner of mine, or Sony sir know a partner of him, that is me, would complement each other. So this is how the work culture is going to change, right? Even we were prepared, like even if I completely lose off the meeting, there is one person who could do it, or other way around. So that's how work culture is changing. The autonomy and ownership is extremely high on individuals. That means we should be able to deliver the deliverables, whatever happens. And people out there in the world knows there is difficulty. So, Anina, if you find a difficulty, you have to speak to them. See, I have a difficulty like this, but the deliverables will be done. So we have more teamwork, we have more collaboration skills. For example, let me discuss, like, from 9 o'clock till like 10, we were discussing on how to do this. We were taking into account what are the possible failures coming in, and then how we will back up each other. So this is how work cultures are evolving. We are not meeting. I think myself and Sony sir have not met for the last 2 weeks, but then our communication is strong on other platforms, and then this is a major change. How quickly you adapt to these changes is the most important thing, I guess. Sony sir, please
Sir,
add
I would
some.
add on to with two examples. One is from
Okay.
our own example at XIME. For the first time in entire my XIME period, we had a 33 days of vacation. I would say it was the first vacation because of that central lockdown. And the quantum of work we have to do at home was triple the amount of work I used to do when if I'm at college. And if I take a professional example of a company called Accenture, one of our friend is working, a common friend is working in Accenture. He is a project manager. So they have given a time period like no till December. Nobody has to come to the office. They have to forcefully work at home. So every 2 weeks they have a cycle change. So that means they are changing the processes in every 2 weeks time. So when this work from home order has given, they what they have done is simply they change that process timing from 15 days to 14 days to 7 days. So just imagine how difficult it is to reducing a process change to a half day, a half a week. That is from 14 days to 7 days. The amount of effort we need to put. And mind you, when you are working at home, the more you need to do because your employer feels that no, you are relaxing or you are free at home, so you have no time bound. And our timetable we started from 8:30, and we have time of classes from till 10 o'clock at night. That is our present timetable look like. And I'm talking about an academic perspective. And our students, we feel that no, they are very active from 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock onwards. I'm talking about night PM time. So the more productive classes are happening from 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. That is what we feel. So these are some of the changes that is going to happen in the workplace also. So that is what you need to adapt yourself. That is what Jackson Swar was talking about: agility and resilience, quick to respond and never give up. I hope we answered your questions to the justice,
Yeah,
Anina.
I think there is one more dimension to it, Anina. Earlier it was like we used to work 8 hours. We used to have other engagements like house chores, and then getting your family life for 8 hours, and then you sleep for 8 hours. So I was just dividing it in a very uh, judicious way of three parts. One part is work, one part is sleep, and the other part is your personal life. But today everything has changed. I started at 8:30 in the morning for a class, so I have to get ready at 7:30, which is not normal. Now I have a session up now, and maybe I take a break. I might go and sleep, or I might get in some work to be done at the house, at my personal life. And I have a class which starts at 8:30 to 9:30 in the night. It's another discussion, not exactly a class. So now it's more like modular. In the morning, 10 hours, you might work, you might sleep, you might play. It's all about adapting to these changes. How well you adapt and how quick you change is where, like, you also become successful. So that is one major thing that I'm undergoing. Yeah. We'll take the next question. Did we answer your question, Anina? Hello. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Anina, did we answer your question? Either you can put in the chat box also. I'll take the next question.
Next question.
So I hope it was clear.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we'll take up the next question.
Sir, if there is no more question, I think it is almost 12. So, yeah, answer is clear, sir. Okay, thank you, Anina.
Okay, any other question? Yeah, I think there is another question. No? Okay.
No, yeah, no. If there is no more question, Jackson, sir, I think we'll wind up with the session. So just conclusion, you can have a quick, very quick 1 minute conclusion, Jackson, sir.
Yeah, so my conclusion is like transformation is the cornerstone that you have to really focus on. Second point is identify those transformation points which we have discussed, okay, or any other point that you need to identify. Measure that transformation point among you, and then look at what is desired, and then you have to map it and then improve on those important points of transformation to become successful. Now that is first point. Second point is this is we call it as COVID era, or after COVID it is going to be post COVID world. Absolutely, there are a lot of changes that is going to happen in industry, in professional life, in work life, in personal life. All you need to do is you have to be agile, resilient, because clearly understand that lot of leadership is questioned now. Be it political leadership, be it industrial leadership, be it thought leadership, everything is disrupted. Now, what happens when things are disrupted? You get an opportunity to pitch back and become a leader. And that becomes possible when there is transformation happening to you. With that note, I will conclude, Sony. Thank you.
So nothing more from my side. I think we have taken more than what Subin sir has asked. See, we were asking for a 1 hour webinar.
Definitely, sir, definitely.
1.5 hours, and apparently I was looking at the number of participants. So I think only 3 or 4 people only left in between. That's not a bad thing. That means we were able to hold maybe some 90% of the people during this 1.5 hours. So that's a good sign. So we enjoyed talking to your students. I hope thus your faculty members and your students also benefited with us. So thank you very much again, once again, from myself and Jackson sir for giving us this opportunity to interact with your students once again. Over to you, Subin sir. And once again, thanks a lot to the editor and the principal also.
Sony sir and Jackson sir, we had a very wonderful session, and you have delivered more than what we even expected. Very wonderful session, in fact. And now I do invite Monty sir for the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now I thank Mr. Jackson Silva, Assistant Professor XIME, and Mr. Sony Varghese, Assistant Professor for your informative not a journey but a journey. How to effectively transform yourself into sir, it was a very much informative from the faculty side and from the students' perspective also, because both of you gave us a how to transform this both, because we are in a transformation era. Thank you, Jackson sir, and thank you, Sony sir, for your valuable and informative talk. Now, our director, Reverend Father Varghese Karmutam OIC, for arranging this. Father, thank you for. Now I want to thank who are inspiration for us and always inspire us to do these activities. Now I want to thank for arranging this for all of us. We thank all the faculty members of Girideepam Business School for attending the webinar. And last, I want to thank all the participants. So thank you all.
Thank you everyone.
Sir,
You guys have been wonderful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are just ending that meeting from our end, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again, Sony sir and Jackson.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
വെൽക്കം. ഞാൻ സ്ഥിരം വെൽക്കം കാരനല്ലേ. ഞാനും വെൽക്കം. അല്ല, റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണെ കുറിച്ചുള്ളത് വേറെ ആൾ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. ഇന്നത്തെ അത്ര ഞാൻ പറയാം. എന്നിട്ട് ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ നാളെ മാറുന്നതല്ലോ. അതെന്താന്നറിയില്ല. പിന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ മാറി വന്നപ്പോ വലിയ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. അതേസമയം സോണി സാർ എന്ത് ക്ലിയർ ആണെന്ന് അറിയാമോ? നല്ല ക്ലിയറാ. പക്ഷെ സാറിന്റെ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞു സാറിന്റെ ഒരു പ്രശ്നമുണ്ട്. സാറിന്